In this clip, Modern Satanism Today, Part 6, I want to bring in the issue of alien life, so to speak. Now, at this moment, we get told that there are aliens, there are UFOs, and that we somehow descended from these so-called creatures. Now, the reason I believe this UFO spin is occurring is because the theory of evolution is collapsing. We've been told that human beings came from chimps, and that's it. And they would go on about how there's a missing link. The fact of the matter is, missing links are not missing. They simply do not exist. So we've had this UFO alien little green men sort of come into it. And the people who are doing this are not doing it for free. There is a lot of government grants involved. So, I want to point out to you some of the things I know and have been involved with, and the alien scam is just that, a scam. Yes, it is a scam, just another front. If you've seen my previous clips, I've explained that we are not dealing with a one-off attack or campaign or offensive. We are dealing with multiple fronts with multiple enemies. Now, we can have to take a look back in history, back to the ancient times, to see what these campaigns, these fronts are based on. And we will see the eradication of religion step by step. It is occurring, or at best, and I say at best, it's apostasy. This is the aim. If you believe in nothing, you will fall for anything. So we go back to ancient Sumerian times, where you had the Igigi and the Annunaki. Now, the Igigi were those who stayed in heaven. The Annunaki were flung down to earth. And this sounds pretty much like the expulsion of demons onto the earth. You know, when Satan rebelled against God and lost, he and all his sidekicks were thrown onto the earth. And we can see there is a kind of religious basis. You know, when I was a theistic Satanist, we believed that if we could get 10% of people to believe they are of alien ancestry, then the game is sewn up. It'll be over. We would win. So when we look at the various fronts, you can see how they all interact with each other. So I'll just quote from my book, Taking, Holding, Keeping, Possession and Exorcism Today. And we'll take a look at where this, you would say, an evolution of ancient ideas have come up into the 20th century. And I'll list some organisations, and you've certainly heard of some of them, and we'll see how the UFO alien belief component is quite a substantial factor in their beliefs, despite what they purport themselves to be. Okay, first off, we've got the Aetherius Society, or some people might say Aetherius Society, which was formed in 1955. Its components: UFO and alien beliefs, but it also includes various fragments of Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, Theosophy, and it incorporates various beliefs in karma, yoga, altruism, reincarnation, environmentalism, channeling, and evolution. That's just one. Next, we have the Unarius Academy of Science, formed in 1954. Its components are UFO, alien beliefs, channeling, reincarnation, and evolution. Next one, the Nation of Islam, formed in 1930, and its components, again, UFO and alien beliefs, black supremacy, various fragments and interpretations of Christianity and Islam. But get this, since 2010, the Nation of Islam has incorporated Dianetics from Scientology. So it's not a Nation of Islam as such. But speaking of Scientology, it too comes into this. Scientology, formed in 1952, again its components are UFO and alien beliefs, and this is essentially an atheist religion, so to speak, because its definition of God is some babble called the eighth dynamic, which is not defined. It is pretty much based around mental health, but it has a disdain for psychiatry and psychology. And just something to tell you, L. Ron Hubbard, the guy who founded Scientology, was associated with John, otherwise known as Jack Parsons, who was in the OTO, which is Order Templis Orientalis, and he was a practicer of Thelema, or Dilemma. Now, L. Ron Hubbard was supposedly involved with the Golden Dawn Occult Society and the Rosicrucian movement. Yeah, and I was too. But what his actual involvement was, I don't know. And we can see the so-called alien UFO thing is a type, it's, put it this way, It's like you have 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. You don't know where it starts, and you don't know how it's going to end. But as long as you can get a starting point, you can add on and subtract the pieces until you get the picture you want. But let's continue on. We have the Urantia Book. It was published in 1955, and again, UFO and alien beliefs. Now, this book was composed supposedly from 20 years of records of an involuntary channeler. The channeling was done in a psychiatric institution, a crazy house. Now, you need to look at the life of William Samuel Sadler, who started off working in a mental hospital at the age of 15. He was a so-called usher. He went on to be a psychiatrist, and the Urantia Book is the result of various notes taken while the so-called patient was channeling this stuff. Who that person was, I have no idea. The Urantia Book is just over 2,000 pages long and delves into multiple galaxies which compose the greater galaxy, and there's all these inhabited planets. Let me go on a bit. So all these messages which compose the book were channeled from this, crazy guy, supposedly. It was okay. You would have a bunch of rich, white, upper-class kids, members of society, getting their hands on mental patients, and let's face it, back then nobody would have said anything. But put it this way, William Samuel Sadler, you know who he married? Lena Kellogg. Yeah, the cornflakes lady. The same family. So rich kids marrying rich kids. And she became a psychiatrist too. But here's something you should know. They see the Lord Jesus Christ returning, not under the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, but as a Michael of Nebulon. So, it is crackpot stuff, but put it this way, if you're relying on your spiritual information from messages channeled by a crackpot, well, you're in big trouble. And William Samuel Sadler, the reason he came up with this is because he broke away from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. He was Well, he said he left. Others say he was kicked out. He was a hustler. Narcissistic. You really can't. Try and read the book for yourself. It's crackers. But we'll go on with one more, which is Oahpse. Some people say Oahpse or Oahpse, and this was supposedly the result of automatic writing, or more accurately, automatic typing. And this book was first published in 1882 and re-edited in 1891. And it's a stepping point, from various forms of channeling. Well, what I would know of. But it took in various pagan theologies, has a form of evolution in which veganism plays a big part, and it has talismans. So the talismans in Oahpse are pretty much the sort of ones I use in black magic, demon working. So we look at all these organisations and we see they're all united by the belief in UFOs, alien life, and from that common basis they can bring in channeling, all sorts of new age thinking. But when you look at what they see as evolution, it isn't just a physical thing. It also pertains to spiritualism and mental being, ways of thinking. It's when you look at what is happening now, transgender is now deemed to be evolution. Basically, we're seeing the reinvention of history as we know it. So we have multiple tactics being used on multiple fronts, and this isn't something that was just thought up yesterday. From my time as being a theistic Satanist, as far as we were concerned, I say the expulsion from heaven of Lucifer was last week, and the other bad things you can think of that happened to the Satan, that happened yesterday. The memories are, yes, ingrained, they are deep. So from all these crackpot tactics from all these fronts, the aim has always been clear: to have you believe in anything and everything except God. And the way it's been spun now which is done through the media and internet and whatever, it does look like it's succeeding. Next, they'll be teaching in schools how evolution came from aliens and we are going to keep evolving. Drug addiction is evolution. Sexual perversion is evolution. Being a tranny is evolution. All these things are not evolution, they're just a very slow suicide.